Welcome back to Footnotes and Folly, and to the end of Richard Roman III. I am Pemberton. This is part 4, and the hunter becomes the hunted. Mad with suspicion and short of friends, Richard tries one last monstrous stroke to marry the daughter of the queen whose sons he murdered, and so secure his line courting young Elizabeth through her own grieving mother. But the rebellion he scorns is everywhere now. Buckingham, his old partner in crime, is taken and beheaded. Richmond lands at last, and the two armies pitch their tents on Bosworth field. On the eve of battle, the ghosts of everyone Richard has murdered rise to curse him into despair and to bless his enemy with victory, and the king who never knew remorse wakes shaking from his own conscience. Let us finish it.
In truth, no one but Humphrey Howard, the man who once called your grace to breakfast, is among my company. If I am so hateful in your eyes, let me march on and stop offending you, madam. Beat the drum. I beg you, hear me speak. You speak too bitterly. Hear one word from me, because I shall never speak to you again. Either you will die by God's just command before you return from this war as conqueror, or I, through grief and extreme old age, shall die and never see your face again. So take with you my heaviest curse. Let it wear you out on the day of battle more than all the full armor you wear. My prayers fight for the opposing side, and there the little souls of Edward's children will whisper to the spirits of your enemies and promise them success and victory. You are bloody, bloody will be your end. Shame serves your life, and shame will attend your death. The Duchess exits. Though I have far more cause, I have much less spirit to curse. I say amen to her. Stay, madam. I must speak a word with you. I have no more sons of royal blood for you to slaughter. As for my daughters, Richard, they shall be praying nuns, not weeping queens, so do not aim your weapons at their lives. You have a daughter called Elizabeth, virtuous and fair, royal and gracious. And must she die for that? Oh, let her live, and I will corrupt her manners, stain her beauty, slander myself as false to Edward's bed, and throw the veil of disgrace over her. If she may live untouched by bloody slaughter, I will confess she was not Edward's daughter. Do not wrong her birth. She is a royal princess. To save her life, I will say she is not. Her life is safest only in her birth. Yes, and only in that safety her brothers died. You say good stars oppose them at their births. No, evil friends oppose their lives. You say the sentence of destiny cannot be avoided. True, when rejected grace makes destiny. My babies were meant for a fairer death, if grace had blessed you with a fairer life. Speak as if I thought you had killed my cousins. Cousins indeed, and cheated by their uncle out of comfort, kingdom, family, freedom, and life. Whoever's hand pierced their tender hearts, your head, though indirectly, gave the order. No doubt the murderous knife was dull and blunt until it was sharpened on your stone, hard heart, so it could revel in the bodies of my lambs. If long habit of grief had not made wild grief tame, my tongue would not name my boys to your ears until my nails were fixed in your eyes, and I, driven into such a desperate corner of death, like a poor ship stripped of sails and rigging, dashed myself to pieces on your rocky breast. Madam, may I prosper in my enterprise, and in the dangerous success of bloody wars, only as I intend more good to you and yours, than you or yours were ever harmed by me. What good, under heaven's face and still waiting to be revealed, could possibly do me good? The advancement of your children, gentle lady. Up to some scaffold, there to lose their heads. Up to dignity and the height of fortune, the high imperial symbol of this earth's glory. Flatter my sorrows by telling me of it. Tell me what rank, what dignity, what honor you can grant to any child of mine. All that I have, yes, myself and all, I will give to a child of yours, if in the lathe of your angry soul you will drown the sad memory of those wrongs you suppose I have done you. Be brief, or the telling of your kindness may last longer than the kindness itself. Then know this, for my soul, I love your daughter. My daughter's mother thinks that with her soul. What do you think? That you love my daughter from your soul. From your soul's love, just so, you loved her brothers, and from my heart's love, I thank you for it. Do not be so quick to twist my meaning. I mean that with my soul I love your daughter, and I intend to make her Queen of England. Well then, who do you mean shall be her king? The man who makes her queen. Who else should it be? What, you? Exactly. What do you think of it? How can you woo her? I would learn that from you, since you know her nature best. And will you learn from me? Madam, with all my heart. Send to her, by the man who killed her brothers, a pair of bleeding hearts, engrave on them Edward and York. Then perhaps she will weep. So present to her, as Margaret once did to your father, steeped in Rutland's blood, a handkerchief, which you should say drained the purple life from her sweet brothers' bodies, and tell her to wipe her weeping eyes with it. If that inducement does not move her to love, send her a letter listing your noble deeds. Tell her you made away with her Uncle Clarence, and her Uncle Rivers too, and for her sake, quickly disposed of her good Aunt Anne. You mock me, madam. This is not the way to win your daughter. There is no other way, unless you could put on some other shape and not be Richard, who has done all this. Say that I did all this for love of her. No, then she cannot choose anything but to hate you, since you bought love with such bloody plunder. Look, what is done cannot now be repaired. Men sometimes act rashly, and later hours give them time to repent. If I took the kingdom from your sons, then to make amends, I will give it to your daughter. If I killed the children of your womb, then to renew your line, I will father children of your blood on your daughter. The name of grandmother is little less love than the fond title of mother. Grandchildren are only one step below children, made of your substance, of your very blood, born from the same pain, except for one night of groans endured by the woman for whom you ask equal sorrow. Your children troubled your youth, but mine shall comfort your age. The loss you have is only that a son was king, and by that loss your daughter is made queen. I cannot make you all the amends I would, so accept such kindness as I can offer. Dorset, your son, who with a fearful soul walks discontented paths in foreign lands, this fair alliance shall quickly call home to high advancement and great dignity. The king who calls your beautiful daughter wife shall familiarly call your Dorset brother. Again you shall be mother to a king, and all the ruins of these distressing times shall be repaired with double riches of contentment. Why, we have many good days yet to see. The liquid drops of tears you have shed shall come back transformed into eastern pearls, repaying their loan with interest, 10 times doubled in happiness. Go then, my mother, go to your daughter. Strengthen her bashful youth with your experience. Prepare her ears to hear a wooer's tale. Put into her tender heart the aspiring flame of golden sovereignty. Acquaint the princess with the sweet silent hours of merry joys. And when this arm of mine has punished the petty rebel, dull-brained Buckingham, I will come bound with triumphant garlands and lead your daughter to a conqueror's bed. To her I will retell the conquest I have won, and she shall be the sole victor over me, Caesar's Caesar. What should I say? That her father's brother wants to be her lord? Or shall I say her uncle? Or the man who killed her brothers and her uncles? Under what title shall I woo for you, so that God, the law of my honor, and her love can make it seem pleasing to her tender years? Argue that fair England's peace will come through this alliance, which she will buy with everlasting war. Tell her the king who could command now begs for something from her hands that the king's king forbids. Say she shall be a high and mighty queen, only to lower the title as her mother does. Tell her I will love her forever. But how long will that word forever last? Sweetly and truly, until the end of her fair life. But how long will her sweet life be allowed to last? As long as heaven and nature lengthen it. As long as hell and Richard approve of it. Tell her that I, her king, am her humble servant. But she, your subject, hates that kind of rule. Speak eloquently for me to her. An honest story succeeds best when it is told plainly. Then plainly tell her my story of love. Plain and dishonest is too harsh a style. Your arguments are too shallow and too quick. Oh no, my arguments are too deep and dead, poor infants in their graves. Do not keep playing on that string, madam. That is past. I will keep playing it until my heartstrings break. Now by my George, my garter, and my crown, pain, dishonored, and the third one stolen, I swear by nothing, because this is no oath. Your George profane has lost its noble honor. Your garter stained has pawned its knightly virtue. Your crown usurped has disgraced its royal glory. If you want to swear by something and be believed, then swear by something you have not wronged. Now by the world. It is full of your foul wrongs. By my father's death. Your life has dishonored that. Then by myself. Yourself has abused itself. Why then, by God. God's wrong is greatest of all. If you had feared breaking an oath sworn by him, you would not have broken the unity that the king my husband made, nor would my brothers have died. If you had feared breaking an oath by him, the royal metal now circling your head would have graced the tender temples of my child, and both the princes would be breathing here now. Instead, those two tender bedfellows lie in dust, and your broken faith has made them food for worms. What can you swear by now? By the time to come. You have already wronged that by the time past. I myself have many tears left to wash the future, for the past time you have wronged. The children still live whose fathers you have slaughtered, unguided youths who will mourn it when they are old. The parents still live whose children you have butchered, old barren plants who will mourn it with their age. Do not swear by the time to come, for you have misused it before it has even been used, by all the times you have misused already. As I mean to prosper and repent, let me succeed in my dangerous business of war. Let me destroy myself. Let heaven and fortune deny me happy hours. Let day refuse me light, and night refuse me rest. Let every planet of good luck stand against my plans, if with the dear love of my heart, spotless devotion, and holy thoughts, I do not cherish your beautiful princely daughter. In her lies my happiness and yours. Without her, death, desolation, ruin, and decay will come to me, to you, to herself, to the land, and to many a Christian soul. It cannot be prevented except by this. It will not be prevented except by this. Therefore, dear mother, for I must call you so, be the advocate of my love to her. Plead what I will be, not what I have been. Plead not my deserts, but what I will deserve. Urge the necessity and condition of the times, and do not be found stubborn in great affairs. Am I to be tempted by the devil like this? Yes, if the devil tempts you to do good. Must I forget myself in order to be myself? Yes, if remembering yourself harms yourself. Yet you killed my children. But in your daughter's womb I will bury them, where in that fragrant nest they will breed new selves of themselves, to comfort you again. Shall I go and win my daughter to your will? And become a happy mother by the deed? I go. Write to me very soon, and you shall learn from me what she thinks. Give her the kiss of my true love, and so farewell. He kisses her. Queen Elizabeth exits. Yielding fool, shallow, changeable woman. Ratcliffe enters. Well now, what news? Most mighty sovereign, a powerful navy rides off the western coast. Many doubtful, hollow-hearted friends crowd to our shores, unarmed and undecided about driving them back. It is thought that Richmond commands the fleet, and there they wait at sea, expecting only Buckingham's help to welcome them ashore. Let some swift-footed friend ride to the Duke of Norfolk, Ratcliffe, yourself, or Catesby. Where is he? Here, my good lord. Catesby, fly to the Duke. I will, my lord, with all proper speed. Ratcliffe, come here. Ride quickly to Salisbury. When you get there, Catesby, you dull, forgetful villain, why are you still here instead of going to the Duke? First, mighty liege, tell me your highness's pleasure. What message from your grace shall I deliver to him? Oh, true, good Catesby. Tell him to raise at once the greatest strength and force he can gather, and meet me suddenly at Salisbury. I go. Catesby exits. What, if it please you, shall I do at Salisbury? Why, what would you do there before I arrive? Your highness told me I should ride ahead. My mind has changed. Stanley, Earl of Derby, enters. Stanley, what news do you bring? None good, my liege, to please you in the hearing, and none so bad that it may not be reported. Hey now, a riddle. Neither good nor bad. Why do you need to run so many miles around the matter when you can tell your story by the shortest road? Once more, what news? Richmond is on the seas. Then let him sink there, and let the seas cover him. White-livered runaway, what is he doing there? I do not know, mighty sovereign, except by guessing. Well then, what do you guess? Stirred up by Dorset, Buckingham, and Morton, he heads for England to claim the crown here. Is the throne empty? The sword not wielded? Is the king dead? Is the empire unpossessed? What heir of York is alive except us? And who is England's king except great York's heir? Then tell me, what is he doing on the seas? Unless it is for that, my liege, I cannot guess. Unless he comes for that, to be your liege, you cannot guess why the Welshman comes. I fear you will rebel and run to him. No, my good lord? Therefore do not mistrust me. Where is your power, then, to beat him back? Where are your tenants and followers? Are they not now on the western shore, safely guiding the rebels from their ships? No, my good lord, my friends are in the north. Cold friends to me. What are they doing in the north when they should serve their sovereign in the west? They have not been commanded, mighty king. If it pleases your majesty to give me leave, I will gather my friends and meet your grace wherever and whenever your majesty shall please. Yes, yes, you would be gone to join with Richmond. But I will not trust you. Most mighty sovereign, you have no reason to doubt my friendship. I never was false and never will be. Go then and gather men, but leave behind your son George Stanley. See that your heart stays firm, or the security of his head will be fragile. Deal with him according as I prove true to you. Stanley exits. A messenger enters. My gracious sovereign, now in Devonshire, as I have been well informed by friends, Sir Edward Courtenay and the proud prelate, Bishop of Exeter, his elder brother, with many more allies, are in arms. Another messenger enters. In Kent, my liege, the Guilfords are in arms, and every hour more rivals flock to the rebels, and their power grows strong. Another messenger enters. My lord, the army of great Buckingham. Shame on you, owls! Nothing but death songs. He strikes him. There, take that until you bring better news. The news I have to tell your majesty is that, because of sudden floods and falling waters, Buckingham's army is dispersed and scattered, and he himself has wandered away alone, no one knows where. I beg your pardon. There is my purse to heal the blow of yours. Has any well-advised friend proclaimed a reward for whoever brings the traitor in? Such a proclamation has been made, my lord. Another messenger enters. Sir Thomas Lovell and Lord Marquis Dorset are said, my lord, to be in arms in Yorkshire. But I bring this good comfort to your highness. The Breton navy has been scattered by a storm. Richmond, in Dorsetshire, sent a boat to the shore to ask the people on the banks whether they were his helpers or not. They answered that they had come from Buckingham on his side. Richmond did not trust them, so he raised sail and set his course back toward Brittany. March on, march on. Since we are armed and moving, if we do not fight foreign enemies, then we will crush these rebels here at home. Catesby enters. My lord, the Duke of Buckingham has been captured. That is the best news. The colder news is that the Earl of Richmond has landed at Milford with a powerful army, but it still must be told. Away toward Salisbury. While we stand here discussing things, a royal battle could be won and lost. Someone arrange for Buckingham to be brought to Salisbury. The rest of you march on with me. Trumpets sound. They all exit. Stanley, Earl of Derby, enters with Sir Christopher Urswick. Sir Christopher, take this message from me to Richmond. My son George Stanley is locked up like an animal in the pen of that most deadly boar. If I rebel, then George will lose his head. Fear for him keeps me from helping at once. So go quickly. Give my respects to your lord, and also tell him that the Queen has warmly agreed that he should marry her daughter Elizabeth. But tell me, where is princely Richmond now? At Pembroke or at Haverford West in Wales? What notable men have joined him? Sir Walter Herbert, a famous soldier, Sir Gilbert Talbot, Sir William Stanley, Oxford, the greatly feared Pembroke, Sir James Blunt, and Rice ap Thomas with a brave company. Many others of great name and worth are with him too. They are directing their forces toward London, unless they are attacked on the way. Well, hurry to your lord. I honor him. My letter will explain my thoughts to him. Farewell. They leave. Elsewhere, the sheriff and halberdiers enter with Buckingham, who is being led to execution. Will King Richard not let me speak with him? No, my good lord. Therefore be patient. Hastings and Edward's children, Grey and Rivers, holy King Henry, and your fair son Edward, Vaughan, and all the others who have come to ruin through secret, corrupt, filthy injustice, if your angry and troubled souls are looking down through the clouds on this present hour, then mock my destruction as revenge. This is All Souls' Day, fellow, is it not? It is. Then All Souls' Day is the day my body is doomed. This is the day which, in King Edward's time, I wished might fall upon me if I were ever found false to his children and to his wife's relatives. This is the day on which I wish to fall through the treachery of the man I trusted most. This All Souls' Day is the fixed final delay granted to my frightened soul for all my wrongs. The high All-Seer, whom I treated lightly, has turned my false prayer back upon my own head, and has given me in earnest what I asked for as a joke. In this way he forces the swords of wicked men to turn their own points into their masters' breasts. So Margaret's curse falls heavily on my neck, when he, she said, breaks your heart with sorrow. Remember, Margaret was a prophetess. Come, officers, lead me to the shameful block. Wrong receives only wrong, and blame receives the blame it deserves. Buckingham exits with the officers. On a plain near Tamworth, Richmond enters with Oxford, Blunt, Herbert, and others, with drum and colours. Companions in arms, and my dearly loved friends, you who have been bruised under the yoke of tyranny, we have marched this far into the heart of the land without being stopped. Here we have received from our father Stanley letters full of comfort and encouragement. The wretched, bloody, usurping boar, who has ruined your summer fields and fruitful vines, drinks your warm blood like swill and makes his trough in your gutted bodies. This foul swine is now, as we hear, in the very centre of this island, near the town of Leicester. From Tamworth to there is only 1 day's march. In God's name, march cheerfully on, courageous friends, to reap the harvest of lasting peace through this one bloody test of sharp war. Every man's conscience is worth 1,000 men when he fights against that guilty murderer. I do not doubt that his friends will come over to us. He has no friends except those who are friends out of fear, and in his greatest need they will run from him. All of that is to our advantage. Then in God's name, march. True hope is swift and flies on swallows' wings. It makes kings into gods, and lesser people into kings. They leave. King Richard enters armed with Norfolk, Ratcliffe, the Earl of Surrey, and others. Set up our tent here, right here in Bosworth Field. My Lord of Surrey, why do you look so sad? My heart is 10 times lighter than my face looks. My Lord of Norfolk. Here, my most gracious lord. Norfolk, we must take some blows, must we not? We must both give and take them, my loving lord. Raise my tent. I will sleep here tonight. But where tomorrow? Well, that does not matter now. Who has counted the traitors' numbers? 6 or 7,000 is the most they have. Why, our battle force is 3 times that number. Besides, the name of king is a tower of strength, and the opposing faction lacks it. Raise the tent. Come, noble gentlemen, let us inspect the best advantage of the ground. Call for men with sound judgment. Let us lack no discipline and make no delay, for, lords, tomorrow will be a busy day. The tent is ready. They leave. Richmond enters with Sir William Brandon, Oxford, Herbert, Blunt, and others who set up Richmond's tent. The tired sun has made a golden setting, and by the bright path of his fiery chariot gives a sign of a fine day tomorrow. Sir William Brandon, you shall carry my standard. Bring ink and paper to my tent. I will draw the order and model of our battle, assign each leader his own duty, and divide our small force in proper shares. My Lord of Oxford, you Sir William Brandon, and you Sir Walter Herbert, stay with me. The Earl of Pembroke keeps his regiment. Good Captain Blunt, give him my good night, and by 2 o'clock in the morning ask the Earl to come see me in my tent. One more thing, good Captain, do you know where Lord Stanley is quartered? Unless I have greatly mistaken his colours, which I am sure I have not, his regiment lies at least half a mile south of the king's great force. If it can be done without danger, sweet Blunt, find some good way to speak with him, and give him this most necessary note from me. Upon my life, my lord, I will do it. May God give you quiet rest tonight. Good night, good Captain Blunt. Blunt exits. Come, gentlemen, let us consult about tomorrow's business. Into my tent. The dew is raw and cold. Richmond, Brandon, Herbert, and Oxford withdraw into the tent. The others leave. King Richard enters his tent with Ratcliffe, Norfolk, Catesby, and soldiers. What time is it? It is supper time, my lord. It is 9 o'clock. I will not eat supper tonight. Bring me ink and paper. Is my helmet more comfortable than it was? And is all my armour laid out in my tent? It is, my liege, and everything is ready. Good Norfolk, hurry to your command. Keep careful watch and choose trustworthy sentinels. I go, my lord. Rise with the lark tomorrow, gentle Norfolk. I promise you, my lord. Norfolk exits. Catesby. My lord? Send a pursuivant, at arms to Stanley's regiment. Tell him to bring his forces before sunrise, or his son George will fall into the dark cave of eternal night. Catesby exits. Fill me a bowl of wine. Set a watch for me. Saddle white Surrey for the field tomorrow. Make sure my lances are sound and not too heavy. Ratcliffe. My lord? Did you see the melancholy Lord Northumberland? Thomas the Earl of Surrey, and he, about twilight, went from troop to troop through the army, cheering up the soldiers. Good, I am satisfied. Give me a bowl of wine. I do not have the quickness of spirit or cheerfulness of mind that I used to have. Set it down. Are ink and paper ready? They are, my lord. Tell my guard to watch and leave me. Ratcliffe, come to my tent about midnight and help arm me. Leave me, I say. Ratcliffe exits. Richard withdraws into his tent, and attending soldiers guard it. Stanley, Earl of Derby, enters Richmond's tent. May fortune and victory rest upon your helmet. May all comfort that the dark night can give be with you, noble father-in-law. Tell me, how is our loving mother? I bless you on your mother's behalf. She prays continually for Richmond's good. Enough of that. The silent hours are slipping away, and patchy darkness is beginning to break in the east. Briefly, because the time requires it, prepare your battle early in the morning and submit your fortune to the judgment of bloody blows and death-stirring war. As much as I can, though I cannot do all I wish, I will use the best advantage to deceive the time and help you in this uncertain clash of arms. But I cannot appear too forward on your side, or else your brother, tender George, may be executed before his father's eyes. Farewell. The short time and the fearful hour cut off the formal vows of love, and the full exchange of sweet conversation that friends so long separated should dwell upon. God give us time later for these rites of love. Once more, farewell. Be brave, and may you succeed. Good lords, conduct him to his regiment. I will try with troubled thoughts to take a nap, so that heavy sleep does not weigh me down tomorrow when I should rise on the wings of victory. Once more, good night, kind lords and gentlemen. All but Richmond leave his tent. Richmond kneels. O you whose captain I consider myself to be, look on my forces with a gracious eye. Put your crushing weapons of wrath into their hands, so they may strike down heavily the usurping helmets of our enemies. Make us your ministers of punishment, so we may praise you in the victory. I commend my watchful soul to you before I close the windows of my eyes. Sleeping and waking, oh, defend me always. Richmond sleeps. The ghost of young Prince Edward, son to Harry VI, enters. To King Richard, let me weigh heavily on your soul tomorrow. Remember how you stabbed me in the prime of my youth at Tewkesbury. Therefore despair and die. To Richmond, be cheerful, Richmond, for the wronged souls of murdered princes fight on your behalf. King Henry's heir, Richmond, comforts you. The ghost of young Prince Edward exits. The ghost of Henry VI enters. To King Richard, when I was alive, my anointed body was pierced full of deadly holes by you. Think of the Tower and of me. Despair and die. Harry VI commands you to despair and die. To Richmond, virtuous and holy man, be the conqueror. Harry, who prophesied that you would be king, comforts you in your sleep. Live and flourish. The ghost of Henry VI exits. The ghost of Clarence enters. To King Richard, let me weigh heavily in your soul tomorrow, I who was drowned to death in foul wine, poor Clarence, betrayed to death by your deceit. Tomorrow in the battle, think of me, and let your useless sword fall. Despair and die. To Richmond, you offspring of the house of Lancaster, the wronged heirs of York pray for you. Good angels guard your battle. Live and flourish. The ghost of Clarence exits. The ghosts of Rivers, Grey, and Vaughan enter. To King Richard, let me weigh heavily in your soul tomorrow, Rivers, who died at Pomfret. Despair and die. King Richard, think of Grey, and let your soul despair. To King Richard, think of Vaughan, and with guilty fear let your lance fall. Despair and die. To Richmond, awake, and know that our wrongs in Richard's heart will conquer him. Awake, and win the day. They exit. The ghost of Hastings enters. To King Richard, bloody and guilty, wake in guilt, and in a bloody battle end your days. Think of Lord Hastings. Despair and die. To Richmond, quiet, untroubled soul, awake, awake. Arm yourself, fight and conquer for fair England's sake. The ghost of Hastings exits. The ghosts of the two young princes enter. To King Richard, dream of your cousins smothered in the Tower. Let us lie like lead within your heart, Richard, and weigh you down to ruin, shame, and death. Your nephew's souls command you to despair and die. To Richmond, Richmond, sleep in peace and wake in joy. Good angels guard you from the boar's harm. Live and father a happy line of kings. Edward's unhappy sons command you to flourish. They exit. The ghost of Lady Anne, his wife, enters. Richard, I am your wife, your miserable wife Anne, who never had one peaceful hour of sleep beside you. Now I fill your sleep with disturbance. Tomorrow in the battle, remember me, and let your useless sword fall. Despair and die. Richmond, peaceful soul, sleep peacefully. Dream of success and joyful victory. The wife of your enemy prays for you. The ghost of Anne exits. The ghost of Buckingham enters. Richard, I was the first who helped you to the crown, and the last who felt your tyranny. Oh, in the battle, remember Buckingham, and die in terror of your guilt. Dream on of bloody deeds and death. Grow faint in despair, and give up your breath. Richmond, I died for hope before I could give you help, but take courage, and do not be afraid. God and good angels fight on Richmond's side, and Richard shall fall at the height of all his pride. The ghost of Buckingham exits. King Richard starts awake from his dream. Give me another horse. Bandage my wounds. Have mercy, Jesu. Wait. I was only dreaming. O coward conscience, how you torment me. The lights burn blue, it is now dead midnight. Cold, fearful drops of sweat stand on my trembling body. What am I afraid of? Myself? There is no one else here. Richard loves Richard, that is, I am myself. Is there a murderer here? No. Yes, I am. Then run away. What for myself? There is good reason, so I will not take revenge. What myself against myself? Alas, I love myself. Why? For any good that I have done for myself? Oh no, alas, I hate myself instead, for hateful deeds committed by myself. I am a villain. Yet I lie, I am not. Fool, speak well of yourself. Fool, do not flatter yourself. My conscience has 1,000 separate tongues, and every tongue tells a separate story, and every story condemns me as a villain. Perjury, perjury in the highest degree. Murder, grim murder in the most dreadful degree. Every separate sin, each in its own degree, crowds to the judgment seat, crying, guilty, guilty. I shall despair. No living creature loves me, and if I die, no soul will pity me. And why should they, since I myself find no pity in myself for myself? I thought the souls of everyone I had murdered came to my tent, and each one threatened tomorrow's vengeance on the head of Richard. Ratcliffe enters. My lord. Zounds. Who is there? Ratcliffe, my lord, it is I. The early village rooster has twice greeted the morning. Your friends are up and are buckling on their armor. Oh, Ratcliffe, I have dreamed a terrifying dream. What do you think? Will our friends all prove loyal? No doubt, my lord. Oh, Ratcliffe, I am afraid, I am afraid. No, good my lord, do not be afraid of shadows. By the Apostle Paul, the shadows tonight have struck more terror into the soul of Richard than the solid force of 10,000 soldiers, armored for battle and led by shallow Richmond, could do. It is not near day yet. Come, go with me. I will eavesdrop beneath our tents, to see if anyone means to draw back from me. Richard and Ratcliffe exit. The lords enter to Richmond in his tent. Good morning, Richmond. Forgive me, lords and watchful gentlemen, that you have found such a late sleeper here. How have you slept, my lord? Since you left me, my lords, I have had the sweetest sleep and the fairest dreams that ever entered a drowsy head. I thought the souls of those whose bodies Richard murdered came to my tent and cried out for victory. I promise you my heart is very joyful at the memory of so fair a dream. How far into the morning is it, lords? Just on the stroke of 4. Then it is time to arm ourselves and give orders. Loving countrymen, the shortness and pressure of the time will not let me say more than I already have. But remember this, God and our good cause fight on our side. The prayers of holy saints and wronged souls stand before us like high-raised defenses. Except for Richard, the men we fight against would rather see us win than see him, whom they follow, triumph. For what is the man they follow? Truly, gentlemen, he is a bloody tyrant and a murderer, a man raised in blood and established in blood, a man who schemed to get what he has, then slaughtered those who helped him get it, a base, foul stone made to look precious by the setting of England's throne, where he is falsely placed, a man who has always been God's enemy. Then, if you fight against God's enemy, God in justice will protect you as his soldiers. If you sweat to put down a tyrant, you will sleep in peace when the tyrant is slain. If you fight against your country's enemies, your country's wealth will pay you for your labor. If you fight to protect your wives will welcome home the conquerors. If you free your children from the sword, your children's children will repay you when you are old. Then, in the name of God and all these rights, advance your standards and draw your willing swords. As for me, if my bold attempt must be ransomed, the price shall be this cold body lying on the cold face of the earth. But if I prosper, the gain of my attempt shall be shared by even the least of you. Sound drums and trumpets boldly and cheerfully. God and St. George. Richmond and victory. They exit. King Richard enters with Ratcliffe and soldiers. What did Northumberland say about Richmond? That he was never trained in arms. He spoke the truth. And what did Surrey say then? He smiled and said, so much the better for our purpose. He was right, and so it truly is. The clock strikes. Tell the clock there. Give me a calendar. Who saw the sun today? Not I, my lord. Then he refuses to shine, for according to the calendar he should have challenged the east an hour ago. This will be a black day for somebody. Ratcliffe. My lord? The sun will not be seen today. The sky frowns and lowers over our army. I wish these dewy tears were gone from the ground. Not shine today? Why, what is that to me more than to Richmond? The same heaven that frowns on me looks sadly on him. Norfolk enters. Arm, my lord. The enemy is boasting in the field. Come, hurry, hurry. Saddle and equip my horse. Call up Lord Stanley, order him to bring his forces. I will lead my soldiers out to the plain, and this is how my battle shall be arranged. My vanguard shall be stretched out at full length, made up equally of horsemen and foot soldiers. Our archers shall be placed in the middle. John Duke of Norfolk and Thomas Earl of Surrey shall lead this foot and horse. Once they are ordered that way, we will follow in the main battle, whose strength on either side shall be well flanked by our best cavalry. This and St. George besides. What do you think, Norfolk? A good arrangement, warlike sovereign. I found this on my tent this morning. Norfolk shows him the paper. Jockey of Norfolk, do not be too bold, for Dickon your master is bought and sold. This is something invented by the enemy. Oh, gentlemen, every man to his charge. Do not let our babbling dreams frighten our souls. Conscience is only a word that cowards use, first invented to keep the strong in awe. Our strong arms shall be our conscience, our swords shall be our law. March on. Join bravely. Let us go at it pell-mell, if not to heaven, then hand in hand to hell. What more can I say beyond what I have already explained? Remember who you are going to fight. A crowd of vagrants, scoundrels, and runaways, the scum of Bretons and low servant, peasants, whom their overstuffed country has vomited out into desperate ventures and certain destruction. While you sleep in safety, they bring unrest to you. You have lands and are blessed with beautiful wives that would take the one and stain the other. And who leads them but a wretched fellow, long kept in Brittany at our mother's expense? A weakling, one who in his whole life has never felt more cold than having snow over his shoes. Let us whip these stragglers back across the seas. Drive away these arrogant scraps of France, these starving beggars, tired of their lives, who, if they had not dreamed of this foolish expedition, would have hanged themselves for lack of money, poor rats. We are conquered, let men conquer us, not these bastard Bretons, whom our fathers have beaten, mocked, and thrashed in their own land, leaving them in the records as heirs of shame. Shall these men enjoy our lands, lie with our wives, and ravish our daughters? A drum is heard in the distance. Listen, I hear their drum. Fight, gentlemen of England. Fight, bold yeomen. Draw, archers, draw your arrows to the head. Spur your proud horses hard, and ride through blood. Sun the sky with your shattered lances. A messenger enters. What does Lord Stanley say? Will he bring his forces? My lord, he refuses to come. Cut off his son George's head. My lord, the enemy has crossed the marsh. Let George Stanley die after the battle. 1,000 hearts swell strong within my chest. Advance our standards. Attack our enemies. May our old battle cry, fair St. George, inspire us with the fury of fiery dragons. At them. Victory sits on our helmets. They exit. The battle rages in another part of the field. Alarms sound, and soldiers rush in and out. Norfolk enters with soldiers, and Catesby comes to him. Rescue him, my lord of Norfolk. Rescue him, rescue him. The king is doing things beyond any ordinary man, facing every danger that comes against him. His horse has been killed, and he is fighting on foot, searching for Richmond in the very jaws of death. Rescue him, noble lord, or the day is lost. Norfolk and the soldiers hurry out. The alarm continues. King Richard enters. A horse! A horse! My kingdom for a horse! Withdraw, my lord. I will help you get a horse. Slave, I have staked my life on one throw, and I will stand the risk of the dice. I think there are 6 Richmonds on this field. I have killed 5 today instead of him. A horse! A horse! My kingdom for a horse! They leave. In another part of the field, the alarm sounds again. King Richard and Richmond enter. They fight, and Richard is killed. A retreat is sounded. Richmond exits, and Richard's body is carried away. A flourish sounds. Richmond enters, again with Stanley Earl of Derby, who carries the crown, and with other lords and soldiers. Let God and your weapons be praised, victorious friends. The day is ours, the bloody dog is dead. Brave Richmond, you have acquitted yourself well. Look, here is this royalty, so long usurped, which I have taken from the dead head of this bloody wretch, to place upon your brow. Wear it, enjoy it, and value it highly. Great God of heaven, say amen to all of that. But tell me, is young George Stanley alive? He is, my lord, and safe in Leicester town, where, if it pleases you, we may now withdraw. What men of name have been killed on either side? John, Duke of Norfolk, Walter, Lord Furze, Sir Robert Brakenbury, and Sir William Brandon. Bury their bodies as suits their rank. Proclaim a pardon to the soldiers who fled, if they will return to us in submission. And then, as we have sworn by the sacrament, we will unite the white rose and the red. May heaven smile on this fair joining, after so long frowning on their hatred. What traitor hears me and does not say amen? England has long been mad, and has wounded herself. Brother has blindly shed brother's blood. Father has rashly slaughtered his own son. The son, driven by force, has become butcher to his father. All this came from divided York and Lancaster, divided in their terrible division. Oh, now let Richmond and Elizabeth, the true heirs of each royal house, be joined together by God's fair ordinance, and let their heirs, God, if it is your will, enrich the time to come with calm peace, with smiling plenty, and with fair, prosperous days. Blunt the edge of traitors, gracious Lord, who would bring back these bloody days and make poor England weep streams of blood. Do not let them live to taste this land's increase, those who would wound this fair land's peace with treason. Now the wounds of civil war are closed, and peace lives again. That she may live here long, let God say Amen. They all leave.
And there Richard Roman III ends on a battlefield and a new dawn. Deserted, unhorsed, crying out a kingdom for a horse, the tyrant is cut down by Richmond's sword, and with him dies the long, bloody quarrel of York and Lancaster. Richmond, now Henry VII, takes the crown, weds the white rose to the red, and promises England the smooth-faced peace it has not known in a generation. Shakespeare's monster has delighted and appalled us to the last, and then been swept away, and the wheel of curses that turned through 5 long acts comes, at the close, to rest. Thank you for sitting with the whole of Richard Roman III. Mind the footnotes, and beware the folly.